Hey, folks, it's Mark Arum. I hope you're enjoying the Mark Arum Show podcast. A reminder, you can hear this very radio show live Monday through Friday. We're live 6 to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday on 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk. Tonight's show overstuffed like a chorizo. Like a chorizo. What's a chorizo, Longoria? Translate for the gringos. A big fat sausage is what the Mark Arum Show is tonight. We are waiting the presidential press conference with the coronavirus task force. That is now scheduled for 6:30. We will air that here live on WSB. A lot to get you caught up with coronavirus. You heard the Dow bad news. Wes Moss will join us. Johnny Kielbasa will join us with a fast food review. But just to get your mind off coronavirus and the Dow and all the sad, tragic stuff out there, let's kick things off this Monday like we always do with a little thing that Deb Green has called Millennial Match Game.
Let's play Millennial Match Game.
Joining us live in studio, a first-time millennial contestant. She's been a visitor here before. Her name is Chandler. Chandler, welcome back to the show. How are you, my friend? All right, you got to get really, pretend that is your boyfriend Zach's microphone. And get really, really close to it. Chandler, tell the folks a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. So my name is Chandler Smith. I live in Stone Mountain. I go to Georgia Gwinnett College. I'm an English writing and rhetoric major. And I'm here because my boyfriend Zach does traffic for WSB and also does promotions. Yeah, Zach Grizzle. Do you mind me asking how old you are, just so we know? Yeah, I'm 23.
23, so on the younger end of the millennial match game scheme. And what was your major? I never heard such a major.
English, writing, and rhetoric. So, there's like the literature side of English and then the writing side. So I'm more on the writing side.
Excellent. All right. I like that. It will prepare you to do absolutely nothing in life, but I love that.
No, so I was actually a theater major for 2 years, and then I switched to English because I was like, oh, well, you can't have a career in theater, so I'll just get paid to do English.
Well, if you're a theater major, I'm going to assume you've seen some TV shows in your life just to look at the craft. So today's match game category are TV catchphrases. Catchphrases. Okay. So think about that for a second. Let's meet our contestants on the phone. We'll start with Chris in Bethlehem. Chris, welcome to the show. Tell the folks a little bit about yourself.
Hey, Mark. Thanks for having me. My name's Chris. I live in Bethlehem. I'm 43 years old, and I work in the fire sprinkler business.
The fire sprinkler business. And you were an English rhetoric major, of course, back in UGA in 1998, of course. You're going to thank you for playing, Chris. Tim is in Ackworth. Tim, tell the listeners a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'm 44 years old, happily married, drive a truck for a living, and just looking forward to playing.
Do you deliver fun stuff? What kind of truck driving do you do?
I deliver food.
Oh, that's fun. Oh, ice cream. Nice. 1601 West Peachtree Street. Mark Arum Show, care of Mark Arum. All right, so here's the Millennial Match Game category today is, guys, TV catchphrases. So I'm going to play a famous TV catchphrase, and you guys don't need to know what show or what character it's from. You just have to guess whether 23-year-old millennial Chandler will know. So, for example, we'll play an example here first, Longoria. Millennial Match Game, as always, by the way, brought to you by Rocco's European Garage. Here's the example. Do you think Chandler would know this famous TV show catchphrase?
That's what she said. That's what she said.
We'll start with you, Chris. Do you think Chandler would know that one?
No.
What do you think, Tim?
Honestly, I think she might.
All right, Chandler, this doesn't count, but would you know what TV show that is?
Yeah, I'm a millennial. I've definitely seen The Office.
The Office is right. Zach Grizzle, if you whisper in here one more time, I'm putting you out in the newsroom. I'm just saying, no cheating on Millennial Match Game. This is not an election. This is not being rigged by the Russians. We play this on the up and up. All right, here we go. You'll start us off, Chris. Will Millennial Chandler know a TV show had this famous catchphrase?
Will you stifle yourself?
I'll play it one more time.
Will you stifle yourself?
Will you stifle yourself? What do you think? Will Millennial Chandler, 23 years young, know what TV show that catchphrase is from?
No, I remember the show, I think, but I think it's a little before her time.
I agree. When in doubt, the millennial doesn't know. Millennial Chandler, what TV show is that?
Ooh, I have no idea, so I think I'm just going to guess Friends.
Friends?
I'm the only person that's never seen
about
Friends.
25 years before Friends.
Will you stifle yourself?
That was Archie Bunker in All in the Family. All in the Family. All right, Chris gets the point. When in doubt, the millennial doesn't know. All right, Tim, here you go. Millennial Match Game TV catchphrases. Will Millennial Chandler know what TV catchphrase this is from?
Afternoon, everybody. No!
One more time.
Afternoon, everybody.
Afternoon, everybody. Norm. What do you think, Tim? Will Millennial Chandler know what TV show that is from?
Oh, I want to say no, but maybe no.
Yeah, stick with
definitely
your
no.
first guns. No. You want to hear it one more time, Chandler?
Yes, please.
All right, here we go.
Afternoon, everybody.
I'll give you a hint. The last show was a 70s show. This is an 80s show.
Okay. I wish that was helpful. You know, oh, dang it. Friends was the 90s. I can't say Friends
you
again.
can't say Friends again.
Okay. I'm trying to think of any 80s shows that I know. We'll just
It was set in a
say-
bar.
Set in a bar in
Yeah.
the 80s.
A bar in the 80s.
You know,
Afternoon, everybody.
just for fun, we're gonna say Friends again.
Friends again. It had a character named Norm. I'll play it one more time. That was Cheers. Have you ever heard of Cheers?
No, never.
Really? Oh man, Zach.
Oh, yeah.
I've talked to you about Cheers before. It has Ted Danson from The Good Place,
You got
your
it.
other favorite show.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Ted Danson was the bartender in Cheers. All right, after one round, a Millennial Match Game brought to you by Rocco's European Garage. What's the score, Deb Green?
All tied up at 1 apiece.
All right, Millennial Match Game round 2. Chris is up. We're all tied up 1-1. Let's see. Here we go. Will Millennial Chandler know what TV show featured this famous catchphrase?
Did I do that?
One more time.
Did I do that?
What do you think, Chris?
Oh, that was pretty popular. I'm going to say yes.
I'm going to say yes, too, because I think this is on Nick at Night, Nickelodeon, which is where Chandler might have seen it. Chandler, what TV show featured that catchphrase? Or the character that said it?
My
Did
God.
I
It's
do that?
Steve Urkel, right?
It is Steve
Yes,
Urkel.
okay, cool. Is
that counts, yeah.
What's the name of the show?
Family Matters is the
Okay,
name of the
okay.
show.
I
All right,
wouldn't have known
Tim,
that part.
going against the grain.
That
said
was
the-
Chris.
Chris. Oh, Chris going against the grain gets the point. Now it's Tim's turn. Here we go, Tim. Millennial Match Game, TV catchphrases. Will Millennial Chandler know what TV show this is from?
Have mercy.
One more time.
Have mercy.
Have mercy. What do you think?
I'm going to say no.
You say no. Chandler, you want to hear it one more time?
Yes, please.
You have a little bewildered look on your face right now.
Have mercy.
Have mercy.
I feel like I recognize the voice.
Yeah, it's a very handsome dude saying "Have mercy." Deb Green had a crush on her from the ages of 12 to 17.
On her?
On him. Sorry, on him. My bad.
Oh, goodness. Can I hear it one more time, Mark?
Absolutely.
Have mercy.
Have mercy. By the way, Tim, you said no, right? Yeah, that's a good
Correct,
guess, I
yeah.
think, right now.
You know what? We're going to go, when in doubt, let's just go Friends again.
It is not Friends. That is Full House, Uncle Jesse.
Oh.
I am so disappointed.
So am
Are you
I.
familiar with that show?
Yes, I
All right.
am.
All right, we're tied up 2-2. Good job, guys. All right, here we go. This is a game changer right here, Chris. I'm not going to sway your vote, but how you go on this one could determine the rest of the game. TV catchphrases, Millennial Match Game. Will Millennial Chandler, 23 years young, know what TV show featured this amazingly famous catchphrase? Hey! 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 What do you think?
God, she's got to know that.
You say yes.
Yeah.
It transcends generations. I'll play it one more time for you, Chandler. Hey! Hey!
Hey, it's the Fonz, right?
That is the
Yeah.
Fonz. How did you know that?
Because I've watched a lot of that 70s show.
Oh, all right. So
That 70s show?
However,
Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Yes.
that is not one of the answers coming up to
thank
70
goodness.
shows. You're good. All right, good job, Chris. I did not think she would get that. Tim, I'm going to give you a hint. There's no way in holy hell she's going to get this next one.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. I appreciate that.
Will Millennial Chandler know a TV show featured this famous catchphrase?
Book 'em Dano. Book 'em Dano.
Book 'em Dano.
Book 'em Dano.
What do you think?
I'm definitely going to say no.
Hells to the no. Chandler, $20 in my pocket right now if you guess this TV show. 70s TV show, featured a bald actor.
Can you play it for me one more time?
Yeah, of course.
Book 'em Dano.
Actually, I'm not sure if it featured a bald actor. That might have been a
Okay.
fake clue.
Well, now I don't know what to say. Said 70s TV show?
70s TV
That doesn't
show.
help me either.
The name
we're-
of the show included a state. A state's name is featured in the
Look at
show.
the state's name.
So there's
Book 'em
50
down.
choices there.
Yeah.
Awesome,
Book 'em down.
perfect. Was it the state name? Was the name of the show?
Yeah.
No. We're gonna say. We're gonna
Give me a
say.
state. Throw a state out.
Arkansas.
That's great.
Can I guess for the 20,000
Or
mark?
can.
It's $20, not
$20?
20,000. What was it, Zach?
It's Hawaii 5
That is Hawaii
Of course
5
it
You're
is.
exactly right. Tim gets the point. Millennial didn't know. All right, here we go. We're getting a little more recent now. Chris, will Millennial Chandler know what TV show had this famous catchphrase?
Holy crap. Holy crap.
Holy crap.
That's really ambiguous. When in doubt, I'll say no.
Yeah, that is ambiguous. That's a good word right there.
Holy crap.
Holy crap, Chandler. Do you know what TV show that's from?
Holy crap, that name is familiar, or the voice is familiar. We're gonna say... I know Zach knows. He's looking at me like he's so
I would not have
disappointed.
gotten this. Don't feel bad. I would not have gotten
Okay, we're when in doubt, go with friends.
this. Yeah, it is Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh.
Frank Barone, rest in peace. I would not have gotten that. All right, real quick, who's up, Deb Green? Is that...
It's Tim's turn.
Tim, here we go. Famous catchphrase. Will she know what TV show this is from?
No soup for you. No soup for you.
No soup for you. What do you think?
Oh, my God. One of the classic lines.
Yes.
I'm going to still say...
No soup for
crap.
you.
No.
No soup for you.
No soup for you. You say no. Chandler, no soup for you. What TV
no,
show
I
is that
love
from?
Soup. I've definitely heard that line before. I have no idea where.
No soup for you.
It's not Friends.
Dang it.
But you know what? This TV show rode the coattails, or Friends rode the coattails of this TV show to great
This
ratings
show
prominence.
set up Friends. pretty
Yes.
much.
Okay. Yeah.
It was the warm-up
again,
act.
I
No
love
soup
all
for
of
you.
your hints. They're so not helpful. We're gonna say suddenly forgotten every TV show that's ever existed. We're gonna say
You were going to say Seinfeld because that was the
Yes,
proper answer.
exactly.
End
That's
of
what I was
round
gonna
2 of
say.
Millennial Match Game brought to you by Rocco's European Garage. What's the score, Deb Green?
Still tied up 4-4.
4-4. We got a nail biter. We'll be right back. It's the Mark Arum Show on WSB. Final round of Millennial Match Game brought to you, as always, by our buddies at Rocco's European Garage. What's the score and who's up, Deb Green?
All right, we are tied at 4 apiece, and it is Chris's turn.
All right, here we go, Chris. Will Millennial Chandler, cute as a button, 23 years old,
Oh, thanks.
will she know what TV show featured this amazingly famous catchphrase?
Excellent. Excellent.
Excellent. What do you think?
I'm going to say yes.
All right, fingers crossed that you're right. Chandler, excellent. What TV show is that from?
I'm so sorry to disappoint you. That's gonna be from.
Excellent.
The Simpsons. All right.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Burns. All right, here we go. Last one. Final TV catchphrase. Will Millennial Chandler know what TV show that had this famous catchphrase?
You look marvelous.
One more time.
Absolutely marvelous. You look marvelous.
You look marvelous. Will Millennial Chandler know? What do you think?
Definitely no.
Definitely no. I'm with you. Millennial Chandler.
Yeah, no, we're the first TV show that comes to my mind is gonna be Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Good guess. Good guess. But no, that is Saturday Night Live. Billy Crystal. You
yikes.
look marvelous. Final score, Deb Green?
We had Chris with 4 and Tim with 5.
Doesn't matter. You're both winners on the Mark Arum Show. Tell them what they won, Vanna.
You're going to go see Steve Martin and Martin Short at Chastain on September 19th.
Oh, my goodness. That's a huge prize pack. So hang on the line. Low T's going to get your info. We're waiting to the president to speak next on coronavirus. It's the Mark Arum Show on WSB. 6:52, 65 degrees on Peachtree Street. Mark and the Bananas with you for a full 2 hours tonight till 8 p.m. Wow, it's been a busy couple of hours here. We heard live from President Trump. We heard live from Vice President Pence earlier this afternoon. We heard live from Governor Kemp, all around the coronavirus, COVID-19. We'll continue to monitor the situation. The White House coronavirus task force briefing continues. We'll gather more information and let you know as it develops. And we pass along the info to you. I guess, Longoria, we can use the coronavirus sounder. You can find that for us. In the meantime, locally, the big headline here, Deb Green, is that Fulton County schools are closed tomorrow. The entire system closed tomorrow because a teacher at a middle and or maybe a middle and a high school, kind of bounced between the two schools.
Yeah, I think it's a middle and a high school.
Has tested positive. So Fulton County schools, if you're just joining us, closed tomorrow, March 10th, with additional closures being decided 3 people in Fulton County, including a father and a son, have been impacted by coronavirus and diagnosed. Total, there are 6 total presumptive cases in the state, 2 in Fulton, 1 in Cherokee, 2 in Cobb, and 1 in Gwinnett, who recently traveled to Italy. But I guess the big headline locally is that the schools are canceled in Fulton County. Never thought we'd see that, a cancellation. Has this impacted you guys, Longoria, with the kids, preschool, any of that stuff?
No. We went to the movies and to the aquarium this weekend.
But I mean, like preschool stuff or whatever the kids are in now.
No, I mean, because they usually wash their hands anyway. They make them wash their hands before they come in and stuff. So there's nothing different that we're doing.
All right, but the schools aren't closed or anything like that.
No, not that we know of yet.
I went to a baby shower yesterday, and it was amazing how different a baby shower is now in coronavirus days than it was just a couple of months ago. So we go there. It was a nice place in Oak Grove. And as soon as you walk in, there's 2 big things of Purell to wipe your hands.
Oh, yeah.
And the rule was, so the woman is pregnant. She's like 8 months pregnant, And it was like, don't hug her, don't touch her, which is like the opposite of what, like at Chuck's, at your baby shower that you had at your fake house, your other house.
My other house.
Your summer house. You didn't have anything like that. There was no Purell out. There was, I gave your hot neighbor wife as many hugs as I wanted. That was culturally appropriate. I didn't want to step
around.
But this was like all hands off. Like, and I get it. Like, if you're 8 months pregnant, you do not want to get this thing.
Don't you just cancel at that point then? If you're going to make people.
No, it was fine. I mean, it was good.
Was it?
Yeah,
okay,
it was great.
That seems like
it was a good time. It was just a lot of that elbow bumping thing. I'm okay with that.
Can we go to let's just nod. Can we not even touch?
We're gonna do the bow.
Just bow. That'd be fine. Curtsy. I don't care.
Japanese
The
bow.
elbow thing is just dumb.
I want to see you curtsy.
Come on.
Can we get a social media video?
Please.
You and Longoria curtsying.
What are you throwing me in on this? I didn't say I wasn't doing that.
No, he'll curtsy to you, Longoria.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know how to do it. I don't even know what that is.
You don't have those in square dances they do in Montana?
I didn't. I was not a square dancer.
I had it. I took
line dancing, none of that.
In Connecticut, in gym class, we had square dancing class.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was actually, as a kid, I didn't mind it because I got to hold hands with Erica Mustard.
Erica Mustard.
She was so cute.
That was her name?
Yeah, Erica Mustard. So it was like, I actually dug it. It was like 2nd grade. I'm like, maybe I'll get to hold hands with Erica Mustard. Instead, I got paired up with Jim Tripodi. So yeah, there's too many dudes in the class. So you had to dance with your friend. With Jim Tripodi and not Erica Mustard. Jim Tripodi, who ate sardine sandwiches for lunch.
Oh, he did not.
Yeah, in 2nd grade. So that was my square dancing experience. Hey, maybe if I had been paired up with Erica Mustard, I might have had a brilliant square dancing career.
You might have.
Speaking of careers, if you've got a 401k, the news not good again today. But don't worry. Money Matters host Wes Moss will join us live after the news. We'll talk more about coronavirus. What do you know? Someone got shot and killed at Lenox Mall over the weekend. We'll talk about that. And Johnny Kielbasa with a fast food review. 404-872-0750. 1-800-WSB Talk on Twitter and Instagram at Mark Arum. It's the Mark Arum Show on WSB.
The Mark Arum Show is performed before a live studio audience.
No, I want this town to be near you. I stand alone. I stand alone.
Welcome back to the show and a good Monday Eve to you. Mark Arum here, you there. It's 7:08, 8 minutes after 7 o'clock. This is the Mark Arum Show, heard Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 p.m. on 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk. My whole family here today. Deborah Green, the executive producer of the program. Longoria, the once stoic Eskimo on the other side of the takeout window. And Low T Chuck screens your calls. Low T. Coming up in 30 minutes, Johnny Kielbasa will join us with a fast food review. Some more coronavirus nuggets, Longoria. Again, let me hear. There we go.
Coronavirus.
Coronavirus,
COVID-19. Again, the big local story is Fulton County schools are closed tomorrow. Here's one, Deb. I don't know if you saw this. Breaking out of the nation's capital in D.C. A D.C. priest has coronavirus. He offered communion and shook hands with more than 500 worshipers last week and on February 24th. All worshipers who visited the Christ Church in Georgetown must self-quarantine. That particular church canceled for the first time since the 1800s. Coronavirus. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe in the Lenten period. That's
a big deal right now.
That is a big deal. And this also, the head of the New York and New Jersey Port Authority tests positive for coronavirus. Charles Thomas III from the Revenant.com, our political insider. Some big politicians also now self-quarantine. What can you tell us there, Chuck?
Yeah, Cruz is on the
Ted
tail.
Cruz.
Ted Cruz.
We're not friends with him like you. I have to use his full name. Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz.
The senator.
Senator.
Yes,
Ted
there you
Cruz.
go.
He's on the back end. He met somebody at CPAC, so he's just going to stay in Texas for a couple extra days to clear the 14-day incubation. Matt, was it Getz
from Florida,
Gertz,
who was
whatever.
mocking it 4 days ago.
That guy's a clown.
Is now self-quarantined.
Yes, he is self-quarantined. Again, I don't think this was back at CPAC.
All
so
CPAC stuff.
Yeah. And then Doug Collins.
Yeah, our local
I didn't
congressman.
know that one until just a little while ago.
So he shot again at CPAC.
Shook
but
hands,
here's the thing with Collins. He interacted with the president and the vice president the other day on Friday when I got stuck in traffic. And someone stole my lemon cookies. That while that theft was going on,
Did we figure that out yet?
Yeah. We'll update later. On.
Okay, great.
But yeah, so all the self-quarantine going on. For you, the biggest impact might again be your 401k. Joining us live in studio, host of Money Matters, our money expert is Wes Moss. Wes, thanks for coming in again, my friend. You might as well just sleep on the cot in my office because you're going to be on call for a while now.
Well, I've been on call for a while, and I'm here to try to help people through this because it's a tough day. Today was a really tough day in markets.
How tough was it? What did the market close at, and how big a drop was it?
Down 2,000 points on the Dow. Probably even a bigger impact, and part of the reason that stocks fell so much. Oil prices dropped over 25% today in one day. Here we are in 2020. Oil prices for the year, Mark, have dropped about 50%, 50% for oil prices.
And people listening might be like, that's great. Gas is going to be under $2 a gallon, but it really isn't that great, right? I mean, it's great for our pump, but that's about it.
I think where we are today, I think it is certainly bad if you're an oil company and you're a fracker, let's say, and it costs you $40 to pull oil out of the ground. If you're selling for $20, that's bad. And if you're levered and if you have debt, that's going to be rough on these oil companies. Now, it doesn't happen overnight. So I think in this smaller period of time, let's call it over the next couple of months, the added money back into our wallets, into our paycheck, because we're spending less on fuel, is actually economically stimulative, and it's a good thing.
Okay.
The other thing that's happened, which is fascinating, we've really kind of won for the record books. Not only are oil prices, and I don't know if we go sub $1 per gallon, which would be amazing.
Yeah.
We probably are going to look at something like $1.50 on gas, which is, when was the last time that happened? So gas is cheaper, but then interest rates, because the Fed has lowered interest rates.
Again.
It doesn't cure the virus, obviously, but it's to help stimulate the economy. The Fed has lowered interest rates, and then because investors have been buying up bonds for safety, prices go up, interest rates go down. So now mortgage rates, as of today, again, another first, for all-time low.
I got a refi.
And if you talk to mortgage folks today, any mortgage company out there, their phones are ringing off the hook because people want to refinance. And that, again, what does that do? It saves you money. So we're going to go, we have some cross currents that are negative with coronavirus, obviously. And then we have some cross currents that are actually decidedly positive. They probably won't offset completely in the next quarter or even two, but it's a big help.
Wes Moss, host of Money Matters, joining us on the Mark Arum Show. Going back to the oil prices, part of this, a lot of this has nothing to do with coronavirus, right? It's the Saudis and the Russians playing a game of chicken, right? And they couldn't come to an agreement on what to do with oil, so the Saudis decided to flood the market. Did I hear that right?
Basically, because there's a demand shock, meaning that there's less gas needed because there's going to be less. Jet fuel is a big part of the oil market, obviously. So lower flights, less travel means lower demand. So oil prices were already falling. So what the Saudis said is hey, let's cut production. They went to Russia. So Saudi Arabia was just basically OPEC, went to Russia and said, hey, let's lower our output, meaning less supply, so we can keep prices higher. Russia said, I don't want to do it. And we know that the U.S. has a big oil industry now, very unlike 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Why don't we cram this down on the United States and really hurt them for the sanctions that we've given them over the years? And they said, no, we want to full steam ahead. We can deal with low oil prices here in Russia. So now, all of a sudden, not only do you have a demand shock, so there's lower demand for oil, now we flooded the market with supply, so it's a double whammy. And that's why I don't know if we've ever seen oil drop this much in one day.
I got a very reassuring email from you and the folks at Capital Investment Advisors today breaking down what is going on. I thought that was very cool and very proactive of you. For folks that aren't investing with Capital Investment Advisors, if you can give it like a nutshell version of what you are telling the folks, your clients, in this turbulent time.
Yeah, I think number one, diversification is kind of a ho-hum word. And when everything's going great and Apple's up 10% in a week, nobody wants to do diversification. But now I look at the last month or so where we've really had markets in turmoil, and I think about who's really comfortable. People are comfortable if they have a really nice diversification where you have stocks, let's say, on one side, but then there's the safety assets, like we talked about bonds earlier, have been doing really well. So the balance is key. Number two, I'm talking about today with our families that we work with. The corrections just happen all the time, and every time we have a bear market like this, it's because we face a brand new problem, and it seems scary because we haven't solved it yet. And number three, we do recover. Now, it doesn't mean we recover overnight. These corrections can recover in 3 months, 6 months, could take a year, but they do eventually recover. And that's a great thing about America, particularly here in America. We figure out a way to work the problem. And then the last thing I sent out today that I quite frankly, personally feel reassuring, and picture is worth 1,000 words. If you go back and look at a chart of the S&P 500 and the bond market, let's say, and go all the way back to right before the financial crisis started, so March of 2007, and you look at a long-term chart, the last 12, 13 years, it's really reassuring because even though you see the big dip of the financial crisis, you realize that even with after the 20% drop that we've just had in 2-3 weeks, the S&P 500 is still up about 180%, and bonds, which are there for totally sleep well at night, are up about 80% over that period of time. So we've just got to get some perspective, zoom out and say, look, this will pass, and we've got to be able to get through this, and we will.
Wes Moss from Money Matters joining us on the Mark Arum Show. We heard from the president, the vice president, the governor today. Obviously, this is the top story nationally and internationally. Business-wise, though, possibly we heard something about the Small Business Administration, maybe some sort of help to the airline industries. Is there anything the government can do or should do to maybe lessen the impact of this financial situation we're in?
I think every branch of government, whether it's the public health system, whether it's the SBA for small business, or whether, again, you can look at the Federal Reserve, and even what the president and President Pence talked about tonight, which is potentially helping workers who may have to not be at work and let's say be at hourly, how do they still get paid? We might have a payroll tax cut. That's more money in everybody's pocket. So I think all of these items can help a little bit. None of them are a silver bullet put together. I think they can actually be really helpful. Because here's the key. If we can avoid a recession, and a recession is really bad, meaning that you've got to have a really rough economy for 2 quarters. That's 6 straight months. If we can get out of this with only, let's say, 1 down quarter, which is still very possible to do, then we emerge from this, what today feels like a crisis and a panic. We emerge from this in several months, and the sun will come out and the economy will get better. And all these little things along the way, fiscal response, policy response, Federal Reserve, all can really help make it kind of lessen the blow of what we know the economy is going to take a little bit of a hit because we're going to spend a little bit less for a little while.
I know you've been talking to a lot of folks in the industry, the healthcare industry and the financial industry. Locally, Fulton County schools closed tomorrow, getting more anecdotal issues and cases of coronavirus. Do you have an idea of when this is going to be peak bad? Like, are we 2 weeks away? Are we 2 months away from this really hitting its this crux and then finally getting some recovery? Do we have any idea of the timeline?
There's a really cool chart. So I've spent a lot of time with the infectious disease doctors on the phone from Johns Hopkins University talking this through. Nobody really knows when this peaks. However, if you go back in the course of history, you'll see there's an interesting chart that was published a couple of years ago before all of this happened that shows that a difference between St. Louis, and this is back with the Spanish flu, St. Louis and Philadelphia. Philadelphia chose to throw a giant, massive parade in Philadelphia. St. Louis decided to cancel theirs at the outbreak of the Spanish flu. And it's an amazing chart that shows that Philadelphia cases really spiked and St. Louis didn't. They ultimately ended up with the same amount of cases over the course of the year, but it was less pressure to the hospital system at one point. And I think that's a key here. Where does this get peak bad? It could be April, it could be May, and there is some real truth behind the seasonality of warm weather. If nothing else, but the CDC will call this discongregation, meaning that instead, and I think of it, it's basketball season, and my kids played basketball, and there's all these parents in a little gym, versus now on the soccer field or baseball
we're outside.
field, everybody's outside.
Longoria's a swim dad. Be careful at swim practice. He is Wes Moss. He's the host of Money Matters. You hear it here on WSB Radio. He's on Twitter at WesMoss365. Again, my friend, thanks for coming in at a moment's notice, and we're going to be tapping your intellect resources throughout this coronavirus scare. We'll be right back with your calls, 404-872-0750. The Mark Arum Show on WSB.
Mark Arum on 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Bum stick, Billy, bum stick. You know what's so funny, Longoria? I was about to text you to put this bed in the system. We already have it. Coronavirus updates continue throughout the evening and the very latest tomorrow morning on Atlanta's Morning News with Scott Slade. Paul joins us in Gainesville, Georgia. Paul, welcome to the Mark Arum Show. How are you, sir?
Hey, Mark, I'm doing good. Thanks. And I apologize if y'all have already talked about this because I just got in my car. But one of the things, and I know, and you brought Wes Moss on a couple times, great input and all that from him. What I don't understand is I hear so much talk about people are afraid of their 401ks, they're worried about it. And it seems to me that the number of people who would actually need to be taking money out of their 401k like right now would be a very, very small percentage of people. And if you don't touch it, you don't lose anything. I mean, none of us lost a penny in 2008 if we didn't touch it. If we didn't touch it,
and
we
that's,
lost nothing.
well, I guess it all depends on where you are in life. So I'm 46.
Right.
It doesn't impact me at all. It doesn't make me feel good to know that I lost, 25% of my 401k. But unless you are planning to retire soon, it doesn't impact you. And if you're planning to retire soon, you should have, shifted a lot of those investments to something a little more stable than the stock market.
Exactly. And even if you, I was thinking about, even if you are planning to retire soon and you didn't do that, if you've planned for 20, 25 years of retirement, you don't need to take it all out this year.
Correct.
Even if you take out some at a loss, the vast majority of what you've got in your 401k is going to be there 5 years, 6 years, 8 years, 10 years from now when all of this is a distant memory.
That being said, Paul, it's a great call. That being said, can I borrow $40,000?
What do you mean?
I'm just playing, man. I'm just kidding around. I'm just kidding around. Yeah. Oh, I mean, if you said yes, I would have been jumped all over it.
The long pause on his side.
He goes,
fantastic.
What do you mean? That was a very good call. Seriously, Paul, though. Thank you for the interesting perspective there. When we come back, Johnny Kielbasa with a fast food review. And what do you know? Someone shot and killed at Lenox Mall. Who'da thunk it? 404-872-0750. Outside of Atlanta, 1-800-WSB Talk. By the way, someone asked on Twitter if I got to work on time today. Yes, 2 hours early. I got here. My 2-hour trip on Friday with the president was 16 minutes today. That's what it should have been. News, weather, and traffic next. It's the Mark Arum Show.
Hey, this is Anderson Cooper, and you're listening to the Mark Arum Show.
Longoria, if you don't mind, stop the music here. Just turn this music off. Because I neglected to lead the show with what I should have led the show with. I led with coronavirus, but I should have led with Longoria's birthday. Happy belated birthday, my friend.
Oh, thank you. You don't have to stop music for that.
No, I'm actually sick of that song. I'm thinking about killing that song.
Wow.
Yeah. It just takes too long. Like, I want to get to the
quicker.
Well, it was nice when we were killing time at 10 to midnight. but now I've actually got people that are listening, and we're I'm thinking. What do you think, Deborah? You're the executive producer of the show. Should we kill that song?
Maybe make it a special occasion or something.
Yeah,
yeah. I'm all about the shorter ins and outs.
Yeah. All right.
So what about the other two specific songs that we play?
Yeah.
Kill those two.
Yeah.
The Thursday
day
song?
by day basis.
Oh, the Thursday song. Yeah, let's get rid of that one.
I don't know. I like the Thursday song because it's only once a week.
That's true.
But I do like the ox and the camel and the kangaroo. That's kind of quicker, so we can keep that one. Anyway, happy belated birthday. Did you do anything fun for your birthday?
Went to the movies with the girls and then went to the aquarium.
You didn't go to the movies at Lenox Mall, did you?
I did not. I went to go see Park Point.
I don't care what you saw.
Yeah.
I really don't. I just wanted to do a segue to Lenox Mall. Okay. I just used your birthday as a segue to Lenox Mall. Joining us live, who's covering the breaking news from Lenox Mall, our buddy from Channel 2 Action News, Audrey Washington, joins us on the show. Hey, Audrey, what's going on?
Hi, how you doing?
Shocked, stunned, flabbergasted. Another shooting at Lenox Mall. Sadly, this one's fatal. You were on the scene yesterday when it all went down, or you weren't there when it went down, but at the aftermath. What happened if folks missed the story?
Well, this was the fourth shooting in so many months. We were the first station there, and I got to tell you, when we got on scene, we saw basically chaos. A lot of people standing around, a large police presence. According to Atlanta police right now, it appears that some young men got into an argument with another man and another passenger that was in that man's car. It was all over a parking spot. They got into the mall. Somehow or another, once they were in the mall or exiting the mall, they got into another argument. That escalated, and someone shot the other man, twice in the head and left him there on the ground.
Unbelievable. I saw a picture on social media of the deceased on the ground, just on his back. This all started over a parking spot, which seems so ridiculous. I know parking sucks at Lenox Mall. I get it. I've gotten road rage in that parking lot, but to lose your life over a parking spot is crazy. What do we know as far as suspects, Audrey?
So right now, this is the interesting thing. They did detain a man yesterday and spoke with him in the back of the patrol car. That was as of yesterday, but they made a note, Atlanta police, of saying that this is not necessarily the shooter. We are still investigating. So then this morning, they let us know that that person that they detained at the scene has been released and not charged. Now they are looking for 3 other people. So they say 3 other people ran from the scene. Just this afternoon, they released some pictures of persons of interest. They are not calling them suspects, but persons of interest in this case. They are also not releasing the name of the victim in this case until his family out of town are notified. But again, they still say that this appears right now to all be over a parking spot dispute.
Finishing up with Audrey Washington from Channel 2 Action News, covering the deadly shooting at Lenox Mall yesterday. Lenox Mall, Atlanta police, they've just got to throw their hands up in the air at this point. What are they saying about this whole situation?
Well, I also want to make this note, Mark. They did say, listen, we have ramped up security here. We have ramped up resources here. I spoke with them, both on camera and off camera, and they told me, listen, we are out here. We are patrolling this mall. It is safe here, but this was out of our hands. This was something that happened in a parking lot. We did the best we could, but they do want to reiterate that the mall is safe, that there are patrol officers right there in the parking lot through the mall. They are making sure everyone is safe, but again, they said that this was something out of their hands. They could not anticipate an argument over a parking spot ending with one man dead.
Audrey Washington from Channel 2. Please follow her on Twitter at Audrey WSB TV. Thanks as always, my friend.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you, Mark.
Take care. Chuck, you said you had a conversation with your wife, and that's it for her, right? She's done.
She said absolutely not. She's never going back there.
She
wasn't joking.
I've been to. I've gone less and less frequently to the mall over the years. I used to go not regularly, but pretty often. That was the main mall where I lived. And now the only time I've been going in recent years was go to Macy's to get the moisturizer that I use on my face before I put my makeup on and makeup.
Yeah.
But now I can get all that stuff online, so I don't do that. So literally the only reason I go to Lenox Mall now, and I will continue to go to Lenox Mall, simply for Cousin's Lobster.
You
get
did say that.
The lobster roll and the fried clams, unless Deb can arrange them to bring it to the station every day.
They have one in Marietta.
Yeah, I know. That's far.
It's a lot safer.
Yeah.
it's a lot safer.
Allegedly.
Safer.
Allegedly. Speaking of food, Deb, we had some great Israeli street food today.
Yeah, Rena came in and brought some birthday falafels for Andrew.
Birthday falafels.
Birthday falafel.
Speaking of food, 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk.
And
I
now,
can see him.
on the Mark Arum Show.
He's on a secret
it's
hotline.
Time for the fast food review.
Joining us live on the greasy, salty hotline from parts unknown, height unknown, weight we do not want to know. This is Mark Arum doing a horrible Israeli accent with Johnny Kielbasa and the fast food review. How you doing, Jonathan?
I'm doing great. I thought that was your Max von Sydow accent.
Oh, rest in peace.
Brewmeister.
Rest in peace. I know. Strange. The Brewmeister from Strange Brew. Rest in peace to Max von. Is it Sydow? Sido? How do you pronounce? Max von.
Well, it depends if you're from Israel or Canada or somewhere.
Anywho, Johnny, what's on the menu tonight, my good buddy?
Mark, one of our favorite things is back at Arby's. Brown sugar bacon. A sweeter take on the bacon that is not applewood smoked down there at Arby's, Mark. And as you know, whenever Arby's rolls something out for their sandwiches, they like to put it on every sandwich that they can find. And they're backing up the King's Hawaiian truck for this stuff there. So now you got your King's Hawaiian brown sugar bacon and roast beef. You got your King's Hawaiian brown sugar bacon BLT. You got your King's Hawaiian brown sugar bacon and turkey. And then, of course, throw them all in there at once, the King's Hawaiian half-pound club, Mark. So think about any combination of meats that you want. Pick out if you want mayonnaise or a Dijon spread. Throw some lettuce and tomato on there, and then pick your poison. And if you can't decide between the turkey or the BLT or the bacon or the roast beef, put them all on there, call it a half-pound club, and get yourself down the road.
What I love about Arby's is they don't rest on their laurels, right? I mean, they keep pushing the envelope, and they're not afraid to poke fun at McDonald's with their fish sandwich commercial. You saw that?
Great commercial.
By the way, I got a fast food review from Jay Black on 2 fish sandwiches. The first one, Arby's, said, this is my Jay Black now. This is not Israeli Jay Black. This is regular Jay Black. Good. Very good. That was his fish sandwich review from Arby's. And not really a review, but he did let me know that the Howell Mill Chick-fil-A does have the fish sandwich. I can confirm. I can confirm they have it. So there you go.
That's breaking news.
Jay Black doing the road work for you there, Johnny Kielbasa. Much like Rocky Balboa. He's out on the streets before Atlanta's Morning News, just running around to fast food establishments.
And chasing chickens and fish sandwiches.
Exactly right. Exactly. I had a food thing. Oh, by the way, this has nothing to do with fast food. I used 3 public facilities inside of 24 hours this weekend.
That's got to be some sort of record.
Yeah. So shout out to the Publix on Cheshire Bridge Road.
Oh, not public facilities, but Publix facilities.
No, public.
Oh.
The first one was a Publix.
Oh, okay.
Cheshire Bridge Road. Second one was the CVS near the CDC.
Okay.
I went in that. It's kind of under renovation.
That one.
And the third one was... when I went to see the comic on Saturday at the Highland Inn. Yeah. So 3 inside. That wasn't even 24 hours, like 16 hours. No, one day. 12 hours. In 12 hours, I went to 3 public restrooms. I just wanted to let you know, Johnny.
From mall shootings to sugar bacon to public facilities, you get it all here on the Mark Arum Show, everybody.
There you go. Johnny Kielbasa, we appreciate you as always, and...
If the cholesterol is high, baby, so am I. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And listen to the Sausage Hut Podcast on any pod app or JohnnyKielbasa.com.
All things Kielbasa on JohnnyKielbasa.com. Appreciate you, bruh.
Anytime, bro.
404-872-0750. Richard's in Kennesaw, Georgia. Richard, welcome to the program. How are you, my friend?
Doing good. How about you?
Excellent. What's cooking?
I got a question. I want to follow up on Paul's comments that just called last about this economy and everything. That I want you to ask Wes Moss a question of this looks like a buying opportunity to me. So what can he recommend how to pick out something to buy with this big drop of the market?
Well, just for my bathroom experiences this weekend, I would buy Publix and CVS stock because they were doing booming business. It's so funny. I was thinking about this because there's a Clorox factory in Clayton County that apparently is booming now. Like they're amping up production, whatever, and like the maker of Purell, like all that stuff. And I almost wanted to like kind of work the market Richard, and maybe you can jump on board with this to me, and maybe start a fake rumor, be like, oh, it's weird. The only thing that survives coronavirus, but it also carries it, is cockroaches, right? And just start spreading that rumor like cockroaches are carriers. And then before you announce that, buy stock in Raid. You know,
I'm pretty sure you go to jail for stuff like that.
So before I
people could just step on him and that.
After I pooped at Publix and CVS, I walked around to see what was going on with the hand sanitizer, and they're all gone.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I looked to the other aisle, and all the Raid cans were still there. So I had this idea. I'm like, well, if we start a rumor that cockroaches carry the coronavirus, then Raid. I'm like, this could be a. So there you go. I don't know, Richard. You want to jump on board with that and me, or?
I don't want to go to jail.
Hang up.
Yeah, I don't think we can go to jail for that.
I do need to ask you a question.
Yeah,
Mark.
buddy,
Why
go ahead.
buy makeup at me?
Because I do television in the morning on Channel 2.
They don't pay for your makeup for you?
No. For 22 years, I've been buying my own makeup. Here's the deal. In honesty, fairness to Channel 2, they will do my makeup for me, but I'd have to come in an hour earlier to get it done.
Well, I get it then.
So whatever the...
You buy you that sleep.
Yeah, so Soft Honey from whatever, Maybelline. Like it's like
no, that's the name of it.
Yeah, Soft Honey.
I thought somebody named Soft Honey put it on you.
No.
I thought that was your rap.
That's the name of my makeup. I think it's Maybelline. CoverGirl Soft Honey. It's like
Way
$8.
too much information for me.
It's like $8 every 2 weeks. I go through one of those.
Wow.
Every 2 weeks?
Well, I have to look at this
Good
face.
Lord.
I got to kick a lot of it on. But that's worth an hour sleep a day is not worth $16 a month. So yeah, they would pay for it, but I much prefer my sleep. Real quick, Richard, do you want to lend me $40,000 since Paul didn't?
I will, but you won't like my interest rate.
I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. You know what? Well, I'm sure we're gonna have Wes Moss on very soon, and we can ask him about buying opportunities. You know, I want to buy stock in Russ in Gainesville. If that's an initial public offering, I want a piece of. He'll join us next on the Mark Arum Show on Twitter and Instagram at Mark Arum. We'll be right back on 95.5 WSB Atlanta's News and Talk.
Mark Arum on 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Final segment of the broadcast tomorrow. Little Sanjay will join us with a Would You Rather. Russ, our buddy in Gainesville.
Come here a minute. I want to talk.
Welcome to the program, Russell. How are you, my friend?
Hey, thank you. Just quickly, I would lose that song.
You don't like the song?
That is what I called about, but I don't really like that song.
No?
No.
All right. Well, there you go. Russ is an associate producer, assistant to the regional manager, Russ from Gainesville.
Assistant to the traveling secretary.
Assistant to the traveling secretary. Russ says no. Russ, I got a bevy of emails from you this weekend. Marriage proposal on tap? What's going on? What's the latest, buddy?
Yeah, I did. And this girl, I gave her a golden lock. I think I sent you a picture of it. And she said, well, where's my ring? I thought the lock was cool. You know, it's on a chain, kind of a symbol.
Yeah. I think if you're proposing, though, you need to give a ring, not a golden lock.
Where did the golden lock come from?
The pawn shop, I'm assuming, right?
Is it just some random person's hair?
No,
I think it's an actual lock.
Actually a dress
Actual lock.
for-
Yeah.
I don't know, a lock of hair.
Where did you get it, Russ?
Creeper. You get it out of a drain?
Where did you buy the golden lock?
Yeah, I can't remember the name. It was a dress store because actually I
That
asked her to
gum
marry
machine
me.
at the exit of
The
the,
gum machine.
of the little
So she
Seasons.
said no, though. No to the proposal.
No, she didn't say no, but she said where's the ring.
All right.
Yeah.
Any impact coronavirus-wise in your neck of the woods? Have you changed your schedule at all?
No,
or-
you know what? I'm not even thinking about that. I never get sick, and I'm not even worried about that, really.
You wash your hands frequently, Russ?
I wash my hands now more than I was just because they
Yeah.
say to, but, you know, I don't really ever get sick, so I don't worry about stuff like that.
Protection? You using protection?
Another awkward silence.
That's a no. Oh, Russ. Oh, Russ. Be careful out
That's why
there,
he's
my
not
friend.
worried
Be
about
careful
getting
out there. Russ, we are on tomorrow, but Wednesday, no show. No show because Georgia Bulldog basketball at 6:30. And I think from 6 to 6:30, they're going to do a special coronavirus show with Conservative Viking
4 to
Eric
6:30.
Erickson.
Actually,
4 to 6:30.
Yeah.
Conservative Viking and Clark Howard. Speaking of Conservative Viking, how excited are you that he didn't drag you along to CPAC this year?
I'm so glad.
You'd be self-quarantined anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's the end of the show. The lemon cookies, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Lemon cookies. I came in the traffic center this morning. There was a fresh box there from Veronica Harrell, who originally bought me the lemon cookies, then stole them, and then replenished them today. So I got a social media video I'll post tomorrow about the lemon cookies, but it was Veronica Harrell the whole time. Not Steve Winslow.
Wow.
Not Buford. Not the old web girl that stole all the hot dogs. Star of the show, Wes Moss. Wes Moss actually came in studio for us again. He's getting tired of us, but he gets star of the show. We'll continue the conversation on Twitter and Instagram at Mark Arum, Facebook Mark Arum WSB. In the meantime, go to sleep, little baby.
Guests of the Mark Arum Show stay at the All-Suite Omni Hotel, located in the heart of Chicago's Magnificent Mile. 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 Chicago's Magnificent